are live from the Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek for the NFHS Network and MHSAA TV presentation of the Division I semifinals in the 2015 Team Wrestling Tournament. Today's match on Mat 3 is between Anchor Bay and Hartland, and we are looking for a terrific match today between these two powerhouse teams. Hartland is the third seed, and Anchor Bay is the second seed, and both got here by dominating their previous matches in the quarterfinals yesterday. Anchor Bay beat Grand Haven 49-12, and Hartland beat Monroe 44-19. Anchor Bay is seeded second, and Hartland is seeded third. So we are right on when it comes to the placings and the seedings. And this is so this one is set up to be a terrific match today between these two teams. And the loud hum you're hearing in the background, there we go. That was a little bit of feedback coming through the sound system today. So we're just about ready to go to get underway. We're going to start at the heavyweight division, the 285-pound weight class. And let's see who comes out. I've got scheduled Economou for Hartland and Renard for Anchor Bay. So let's see who they're going to send out here. This should be a great match in this semifinal to get to the finals. And Hartland will be green, and Anchor Bay will be red. And this is for Hartland, Jake Economou. He's a senior at 34-5, and coming out for Anchor Bay is Christian Stuarski. Christian is a sophomore, and he's 9-6. So we're just about ready to get underway here. The first match of the semifinal round. Again, we are live from the Kellogg Arena, and you are watching action on Mat 3 between Hartland and New Baltimore Anchor Bay. And we're just underway. So again, out there for Anchor Bay is Josh Stodstill. He's a senior at 21-13. And out for Hartland is Jake Economou. He's a senior at 34-5. And we're underway in the first period, and there's a takedown for Hartland. And that's going to make it 2-0 in favor of Hartland with 1:08 left to go in the first period. So Josh Stodstill for Anchor Bay. Again, he's a senior, 21-13. And Jake Economou for Hartland. And Jake also a senior at 34-5. And the heavyweights are on their way. Economou's a state qualifier, so we'll expect to see him next week. Both of these teams were ranked as of a couple weeks ago in the Power 15 rankings. Warning stalling on Stodstill. With 15 seconds left to go in the first period. Hartland is out ahead with a takedown. It's 2-0. Both these teams, as of a couple weeks ago, were ranked in the Power 15 rankings. Hartland was number 5 and Anchor Bay was number 4. And again, Anchor Bay was a 2nd seed and Hartland was a 3rd seed. So we're looking for a great match here today between these two. And there's an escape as we come to the end of the match, and it's Green's choice. And Hartland will take down to start. And we're underway in the 2nd period with Hartland ahead 2-1 in this one, and there's an escape for Hartland. So that's going to make it 3-1 now at the beginning of the 2nd period. Well, Hartland is in their yellow uniforms and Anchor Bay's in the black, mostly black and red. Hartland is wearing the green anklets and Anchor Bay's wearing the red. And Economo tries a throw, but he gets caught. And we're going to go off the mat, and they're neutral. So a slip throw almost costs Economo. But at the edge of the mat, he's saved by the edge of the mat. Another takedown for Hartland. That's going to make it 5-1 now in favor of Hartland in this one. And we're off the mat, so we'll come back to the center with 53 seconds left to go in the 2nd period. And we got a caution on Green for a false start. We call that a false start. He just didn't set up right. So he gets a caution. 45 seconds left to go in the 2nd period. Hartland is coached by Todd Cheney. Todd has been the coach here for 23 years. He's got a 6:31.95 and 2 record. And Anchor Bay is coached by Jim Morissette. He's been there 25 years. He's got a 6:06 and 2:23 all-time record. Coming into the tournament, Anchor Bay was 36-0 and Hartland was 29-3. So a lot of wrestling between these two. And we're just about done with the 2nd period, and that's it. And it'll be Anchor Bay's choice. As we move to the 3rd. So Anchor Bay will take down. And it's 5-1. Oh, he's going to let him go. So that makes the score 6-2 now in favor of Hartland. And we're back underway. And there's another takedown. That's going to make it 8-2 in favor of Hartland in this one. He's going to let him go. That's going to make it 8-3. So it'll be Jake Economou, we're going to see him next week in the individual tournament. Good looking heavyweight for Hartland. 56 seconds left to go in the third period, and it's 8-3 in favor of Hartland in this one. And a point for Green. That's going to make it 9-3. The officials do not like you backing up. They want you to circle. And Economou's got an overhook here. Said another way, Stodgill's got an underhook, and they break that up. And a little shuck by, and they go off the mat, so we'll come to the middle again. They're coming to the end of the third period with 8 seconds left. 9-3 in favor of Hartland on this one. And they're going to go off the mat. They got a stoppage, 3 seconds left. And I'm not sure what the discussion is here. They're both neutral. So 3 seconds left. I'm not sure what that was all about. I think they're checking to see if he's going to get points out of this. But they waved the points off because they were close to the match, close to the edge of the mat earlier. Oh, they put 2 seconds back on the clock, so there's 5 seconds left to go. And 9-3. Hartland shoots hard, but no. And that's it. So that's how it will end. Hartland gets a 9-3 victory in this one. That'll give them 3 team points, making the team score 3-0 in favor of Hartland. So Hartland gets on the board quick. Terrific match right there at the heavyweight division. And we're going to move to 103 now. And I have scheduled Lopez for Hartland and Mike Romanowski from Anchor Bay. And it will be Mike Romanowski from Anchor Bay. Romanowski is a freshman with a 38-13 record. And coming out for is Noah Lopez. Lopez is a junior with a 38-4 record. So here we go at 103, ready to get underway. A couple of young, experienced wrestlers here. Again, for Anchor Bay, it's Mike Romanowski. And he is 38-13 as a freshman. A lot of wrestling for that young man. And for Hartland, again, it's a junior, Noah Lopez, and it's 38-4 as they flurry and go off the mat on that one. So both of these wrestlers, a lot of wrestling between them. And a nice duck right there, but countered nice back with a single by Lopez, and he's going to score with it. And 2-0 now with 1:27 left to go in the first period. No points. No points. Didn't hold him long enough to score a near fall there. This should end up being a good match, a good semifinal match between these two teams. And we're off the mat, so we'll come back to center, and Hartland will be in a superior position with 53 seconds left to go. Hartland has the 2-0 lead. Again, this is Noah Lopez. from Hartland against Mike Romanowski from Anchor Bay. And if you're just joining us, we started at the heavyweight division, and Hartland won that one 9-3, so they're ahead in team points 3-0. .25 seconds left to go in the first period of this 103-pound match. And now Hartland's going to get some back points here. And 3 for a near fall. That's going to make the score 5-0 with 7 seconds left to go in the first period. And it'll be Romanowski's choice, Anchor Bay's choice to start the second period. So red choice. And they're going to defer. So now it goes to green, and he's going to take down. So Romanowski's choice, he defers. And Lopez from Hartland, he'll start down, and a caution for a false start. It's 5-0 going into the second period in favor of Hartland on this one. To his feet for an escape, that's going to make it 6-0. And Anchor Bay is going to slip a headlock there. They're going to go off the mat and start neutral with 1:42 left to go in the second period. And in on a single is Hartland. And let's see if he can finish that. This usually ends up at a stalemate. And he's in on Hartland's in on a deep single. Nice job fighting it off by Anchor Bay. And Anchor Bay is going to score the takedown. That makes it 6-2 now. 6-2 with 1:05 left to go in the second period. Nice job by Anchor Bay fighting that one off. Hartland got in on a deep single. Anchor Bay did a nice job fighting that one off. Hartland's going to come to their feet, and he'll get the escape. That'll make it 7-2 with 45 seconds left to go in the second period. And we're off, so we'll come back to neutral. 32 seconds left to go in the second period. And they're off the mat, so we'll come back to neutral. 17 seconds left to go in the second period. And to start the third, it'll be Anchor Bay's choice. Anchor Bay had choice in the second, and they deferred to the third. So they're off the mat. 4 seconds left to go. We'll come back to neutral. So Anchor Bay will have choice. And we've got a little bit of, looks like we've got some blood going on, so that'll give me a minute to tell you that this broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the NFHS network. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and the NFHS network. And it looks like we've got the blood cleaned up. So we'll start the third period, and it will be Anchor Bay's choice. And it looks like they're going to go neutral to start. And as we start the third period, it's Lopez from Hartland with a 7-2 lead over Romanowski from Anchor Bay, and we're underway. And Hartland reaches in on that single again, changes to a double, and he's going to get it. That's going to make it 9-2 now in favor of Hartland. As they go off the mat, we'll come back to center, and Hartland will be in the superior position here. And he's going to get some back points here for a near fall. And now we've got a major decision going for Lopez from Hartland. With 1:05 left to go, they go off the mat, and Hartland will be in the superior position when we restart. So a minute left in the third period of this 103-pound Division I semifinal between Hartland and Anchor Bay. Hartland is ahead in this match. It's 11-2. So a major decision going on for Hartland. .15 seconds left to go in the third period, and if this score stands, it'll be a major decision for Hartland, and it will give them 4 more team points. And it looks like it will. So Lopez from Hartland defeats Mike Romanowski from Anchor Bay 11-2. That's a major decision, and that gives Hartland now 17 points and Anchor Bay at 0, as we'll move to the 112-pound weight class. And I've got scheduled to come out for Hartland Potter and Medley from Anchor Bay. So let's see who they got coming out. For Hartland, a sophomore at 44-4, and it is Garrett Potter. And coming out for Anchor Bay is Medley. Medley is Jack Medley, a sophomore at 50-1. So Garrett Potter for Hartland, again a sophomore at 44-4. And for Anchor Bay, again, Jack Medley, a sophomore at 50-1. Well, Medley yesterday defeated Marsman from Grand Haven 9-1. So this ought to be another good, terrific match between these two schools. Right now, the team score is 7-0 in favor of Hartland. So Anchor Bay needs to get on the board here, and this could be the match that does it for Anchor Bay. Again, Jack Medley, a sophomore at 50-1. I would think we're going to see him next week in the individuals. He has qualified for the state tournament. Both these teams have several on their lineup that have qualified. Lopez and who you saw in the last match, both are getting warned for stalling. And a takedown. That's 2 points from Anchor Bay with 34 seconds left to go in the first period. It will be Hartland's choice when we start the second. Again, both these teams have several kids that have qualified for the individual tournament, which will take place next week. 15 seconds left to go in the first period. It'll be Hartland's choice to start the second. Hartland is wearing the green anklets with their yellow singlets. Anchor Bay wearing the red with their black. And we're winding down the first period. There it is. And again, Hartland will have choice. And they're going to defer. And Anchor Bay will take down to start the second, with Anchor Bay in the lead 2-0 in this one. So Medley from Anchor Bay takes a 2-0 lead over Potter from Hartland into the second period, and we're underway. This is the 112-pound weight class in the MHSAA Team State Wrestling Finals from Kellogg Arena, and there's a reversal. You're watching action on mat 3 between Hartland and Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay was the 2nd seed and Hartland was the 3rd seed. And both defeated their opponents handily in the quarterfinal matches yesterday. And there's an escape for Hartland. That's going to make the score 4-1 with 1:07 left to go in the second period. Nothing there. Anchor Bay's in on a double. Let's see if he can finish it. 48 seconds left to go in the second. And there's the takedown for 2. That makes it 6-1 now in favor of Hartland. Check that, in favor of Anchor Bay. And that's potentially dangerous. So with 11 seconds left to go in the second period, we'll restart with Anchor Bay in the superior position. Five seconds left. And when we start the third period, it'll be Hartland's choice. It was their choice in the second. They deferred, so Hartland's choice, and they're going to take down. So we will start. Hartland was going to take down. Anchor Bay elected to let him up. So it's an automatic escape, and that makes the score 6-2. And a takedown for Anchor Bay, that makes the score 8-2. And he's going to let him go again. So we're neutral. We go off the mat. We'll come back to the center. That makes it 8-3 in favor of Anchor Bay. And again, Medley's shot in, but a nice job by Potter to fight that off. Garrett Potter, sophomore, 44-4. So both of these wrestlers, good accomplished wrestlers. A warning stalling now on Hartland. And that's going to be a point. A penalty point. That was his second warning, and another takedown. So that's going to make our score 11-3. So we've got a superior decision and neutral. Nope. Sorry, Major. That was. So it's now 11-4 with 49 seconds left to go in the third. So Anchor Bay working on a major decision here with another takedown. Or scores 11-4 right now, so Anchor Bay needs a couple of more points to score the major decision. And nicely done by Anchor Bay. That makes it 13-4. So now we have a major decision going. With 15 seconds left to go in the third period. Scores 13-4 with 5 seconds left. And we'll have a major decision for Medley from Anchor Bay over Potter from Hartland by a score of 13-4. That's 4 team points for Anchor Bay. That now makes the score the team score. Hartland 7, Anchor Bay 4, as we move to the 119-pound weight class. And at 119, I have Culver scheduled to wrestle versus Nolan Romanowski for Anchor Bay. So let's see who's going to come out for Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay is Nolan Romanowski. Nolan's a junior at 44-8. And coming out for is Culver. Hayden Culver, he's a sophomore at 26-12. And we're just about to get underway. After 3 matches, the team score is Hartland 7 and Anchor Bay 4. And we've got a good dual meet going on here. We started at heavyweight and we're at 119, so we've wrestled 3. We're in our 4th match. And a good one going on here in this semifinal match from Mat 3 at Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek. I'm Dave Corey bringing you the move-by-move action here. And we're off the mat neutral with 1:22 left to go. No score. Nolan Romanowski, a state qualifier. And again, both these teams have a lot of kids that you'll see next week. 7 kids from Anchor Bay are on their way to the States. 9 from Hartland are on their way to the individual tournament next week. Again, Anchor Bay was the 2nd seed coming into the action, into the team state finals, and Hartland was the number 3 seed. So we've got a 2-3 matchup here. Both defeated their quarterfinal opponents handily yesterday. 30 seconds left to go in the first period. It'll be Anchor Bay's choice when we start the second. Ten seconds left. And again, it'll be Anchor Bay's choice. And they're going to take down to start the second. And we start the second period 0-0. So a good match at 119. And we're underway. Little sit for Anchor Bay, but that goes nowhere. And Hartland's got a chicken wing going on here. A chicken wing to a half. And he's going to try to run that. And Romanowski, this is Nolan Romanowski, staying tough, and they're going to stop it. And we've got a little injury timeout going here. So while we've got a little break in the action, let me just tell you that if you want a DVD of today's action, you can get all the DVDs of the 2015 MHSAA Team Wrestling Finals they can be purchased exclusively online right here at MHSAA.tv. Just click on the blue Get DVD button just below the player on your screen to order this event, or the Buy DVD tab at the top of the screen to view all the games available in all sports from Michigan and around the country. So if you want a DVD of not just from here but from around the country, you can get them at MHSAA.tv. Check it out. And you see the officials out here, and they've done a great job this week. And a lot of people say, why officiate? Why get in the middle? Well, I'll tell you why. Some officiates do it just to stay active and fit. Others officiate to travel and meet new people. Some officiate because they say they get the best seat in the house. To become a registered high school game official, call or click MHSAA.tv. Or check that, MHSAA.tv. I'll get this right. Just go to the MHSAA website and you can be a referee to find out more information. We'll get it straight here in a second. And we're just about ready to go. With 59 seconds left to go in the second period of this 119-pound weight class match between Hartland and Anchor Bay. We're going to have a caution on red for a false start. It's 0-0. Again, we're in the second period. It was Anchor Bay's choice. They took down. So we've got a good one going on here. Team score is Hartland 7, Anchor Bay 4. We're through 3 matches. This is our 4th. We started at heavyweight. .40 seconds left to go in the second period. No back points there. Hartland's still in the superior position here. And this could be the first point scored. There's an escape for one, and we're off the mat. So it's 1-0 in favor of Anchor Bay, with 18 seconds left to go in the second period. Seven seconds, 6, 5. And it'll be Hartland's choice to start the third, and that's it. So Hartland will have choice. It's 1-0, a close, tight match. Anchor Bay's in the lead on this one. And Hartland will take down to start the third period. Anchor Bay leads 1-0. This is Nolan Romanowski from Anchor Bay. And Hayden Culver from Hartland. And a good tough match going on here. A good dual meet going on here as well. If this score stands, it'll be tied at 7 apiece. And there's an escape for Hartland. That's going to tie it up. So we're all tied at 1-1 with 1:20 left to go in the third period. And we come back to the middle with 1:09 left to go. We're neutral. 1:09 in the third period. And we're underway. And we're off the mat, so we'll come back to neutral. With 43 seconds left to go in the third period. A 1-1 tie in this one. Team score, if you just joined us, is Hartland 7, Anchor Bay 4. Anchor Bay was seeded second in this tournament, and Hartland was seeded third. And an attempted duck there by Hartland goes nowhere. So we're 20 seconds away from overtime in this one. Come back to the center at neutral. And we come, and we're into overtime as the clock runs out. So we're in overtime. It's a 1-minute period. I like to call them a sudden win. So the first takedown of the first point scored gets it. Nobody's been warned for stalling here. And we're off the mat, so we'll come back to neutral with 45 seconds left to go in the overtime. Good match here. Good dual meet and a good match at 119. Both wrestlers have an escape. No points. Nothing scored yet. And a little shuck, and no, they're off the mat, so they go back to neutral. With 23 seconds left to go in the overtime period. Again, I like to call this sudden victory. Whoever scores the first points wins. 10 seconds left to go. No points. And we go to the second overtime. So Anchor Bay's choice. And they'll take down to start the second overtime period. This is a 30-second period. And once again, that's a caution. We're in a sudden win situation here. "18 seconds. 12 seconds. 7 seconds. And we've got locked hands. And that should be the victory right there. 1 point, technical foul for red. So Anchor Bay will win this on a penalty call. Oh, sorry about that. Check that. It's 2-1 in favor of Anchor Bay. And now Anchor Now Anchor Bay has to keep, we go another 30-second period. Anchor Bay has to keep him down. Hartland has to escape. And then we'll go to criteria. So the score is 2-1 on a penalty point for locked hands against Hartland. 15 seconds left. A tight waist and a chicken wing here. This is a good ride, but he's got to be careful he doesn't call for stalling. 6 seconds left. And that's how it'll end. So Anchor Bay is going to pull off a victory here on a penalty point by Hartland. And Anchor Bay wins it 2-1 in triple overtime, giving them 3 more team points, and that's going to tie our score 7-7. And we talked about how this one could be probably one of the best matches of the day. And it certainly worked out that way. We'll move to 125. And at 125 for Hartland, this is Kavanaugh, Kyle Kavanaugh, junior at 27-13. And coming out for Anchor Bay is Andrews. Andrews is a junior at 41-9. Again, this is the 125-pound weight class. And again, coming out for Hartland is Kyle Kavanaugh, a junior, and 27-13. So a lot of wrestling for that young man this year. And on the mat for Anchor Bay is Jeffrey Andrews. And Jeffrey is a junior, and he's a 41-9. So he's done a lot of wrestling, won over 80% of his matches this year. Andrews we'll see next week in the individual tournament. And we're all tied up after 4 matches. Team score 7-7. There's a takedown for Andrews. So he'll take the early lead with 1:20 left to go in the first period. It's 2-0. And Anchor Bay is going to slide the legs in. 57 seconds left to go in the first period. With the bar half, the power half. Hartland's going to come to his feet. Nope. Anchor Bay does a nice job riding. 28 seconds left in the first period. It'll be Hartland's choice when we go to the second. And they roll through. And there's going to be a reversal for 2. And he's going to get some back points out of this. Yeah, he's going to get a couple of back points, it looks like. Reversal for 2 and 2 for a near fall. As we come to the end of the first period, so the little flurry results in a reversal for Hartland and a near fall, and that's going to make it 4-2 as we go into the second period. And we've got a brief stoppage here. Looks like we're taking care of a little bit of a bloody nose. It'll be Hartland's choice to start the second period. Every team and every school has a story to tell, and now you can find those stories behind the scores online at the MHSAA second half. Check out the exclusive coverage of today's finals by clicking on the second half link on the homepage of the MHSAA website. And Hartland's going to defer. And Anchor Bay will take down. So the little flurry at the end of the first period gave Hartland the lead. So Kavanaugh takes a 4-2 lead over Andrews to start the second period.
Could I have your attention, please? The will call for individual tickets is now open. You must have your receipt and picture ID.
And a warning stalling and an escape.
Now open. Thank you.
So Kavanaugh gets warned for stalling. And we've got an escape for Anchor Bay. That's going to make it 4-3 in favor of Hartland now. And we're off the mat, so we'll come back to neutral. 1:31 left to go in the second period. 4-3, Hartland in the lead in this 125-pound match. Team score 7-7 if you just joined us. We're through 4. It's been a good dual meet. Each team with a major decision and a decision. And there's a takedown for Anchor Bay. That's going to make the score now 5-4 with that takedown in favor of Anchor Bay. This is Andrews from Anchor Bay against Kavanaugh from Hartland. Both wrestlers are juniors. We'll see Andrews next week in the individual tournament. He's a state qualifier. .24 seconds left to go. 5-4 in favor of Anchor Bay in this one. We've got a good dual meet going on here between these two schools. And coming to the end of the second period. And we're going to get some back points here. 2 for a near fall as we come to the end of the second period. That's going to make the score now 7-4 in favor of Anchor Bay. And we start the third with Hartland going down. It was Hartland's choice in the second. They deferred, so they'll take down to start the third period. And as we start the third period, it's 7-4 in favor of Anchor Bay. Andrews from Anchor Bay against Kavanaugh from Hartland. And we're stop it there as a stalemate ensues. So with 1:29 left to go in the third. Got a caution on green for a false start. They call it a false start, but anytime they set up out of position, they'll get a caution. One minute left in the third period of this 125-pound match between Andrews from Anchor Bay and Kavanaugh from Hartland. And Andrews has the 7-4 lead in this one. And a warning stalling on green. So that's a penalty point. That makes it 8-4 now in favor of Anchor Bay with 28 seconds left to go. That was the second stalling warning against Hartland. And number 2, your opponent gets a point. 15 seconds left to go in the third period. 5 seconds, and that's how it's going to end. So Andrews from Anchor Bay defeats Kavanaugh from Hartland 8-4. That's 3 more team points for Anchor Bay, and they're going to take the 10-7 lead in the team score over Hartland, and we'll move to the 130-pound weight class. And for Hartland, I have scheduled Hughes, and for Anchor Bay, I have scheduled Wiscombe. So let's see, we'll see who comes out for Anchor Bay. Indeed, it is and Adam Wiscombe. He's a senior at 43-10 record, and coming out for Hartland is Hughes, and that's Reese Hughes. He's a sophomore at 44-5. So the 130-pound weight class, this is our 6th match in this semifinal duel in the MHSAA Team State Finals from Kellogg Arena, mat number 3. Again for Hartland, this is Reese Hughes. Reese is a sophomore, and he brings a 44-5 record into this tournament. And for Anchor Bay, it's Adam Wiscombe, and Adam is a senior, and he brought a 43-10 record into the tournament. Wiscombe, a state qualifier. We'll see him next week, and as well as Hughes. So we'll see both these kids in the individual tournament next week. 1:10 left to go. They're off the mat. So we'll move back to center, and we're still at neutral. Boy, this has been a good dual meet between these two. Anchor Bay was the number 2 seed, and Hartland was the number 3 seed. So we knew at the start this one was going to be a good dual meet, and it's lived up to that so far. With 45 seconds left to go in the first period, it's still 0-0. And we're off the mat, so we'll come back to the center. And we're still at neutral with 33 seconds left to go in the first period. It'll be Anchor Bay's choice to start the second period. So whoever wins this will meet the winner of the Brighton-Davison match. And coming to the end of the period, that's it. So it's Anchor Bay's choice. And they choose down, and it's 0-0, 0-0 to start the second period. In this 130-pound match between Anchor Bay and Hartland. And Hartland's going to get some back points here, and a fall for Hartland. So Hughes gets the fall over Wiscombe, and that could prove to be huge at the end. That's 16 points for Hartland, and those could come back to haunt Anchor Bay. So that now makes the team score Hartland 13 and Anchor Bay 10. As we move to the 135-pound, and coming out for Hartland at 135 is Castillo. Castillo is a junior at 40-5, and out for Hartland is Dombrowski. Dombrowski is a senior at 41-2. So we're moving this match right along. Again, out for Hartland is Sage Castillo. Sage is a junior. And he came into the tournament this weekend at 40-5. And out for Anchor Bay is Joe Dombrowski. He's a senior at 41-2. And we're going to see Dombrowski next week. So with that fall, Hartland jumps out ahead in the team score 13-10 now. And again, the winner of this dual meet will meet the winner between Brighton and Davison. And Brighton was the #1 seed. So Hartland's looking for the upset, but we'll see. A lot of wrestling left. This is our 7th match, so we're just not quite halfway through, and we're off the mat, so we'll come back to neutral with 1:06 left to go in the first period. And a fireman's carry for a takedown for 2 for Dombrowski. With 55 seconds left to go in the first period. Dombrowski gets a leg in there. They're going to roll through. Dombrowski's got to be careful here that he doesn't get too out of position. He's working on the power half. And he's still in the superior position, even though they're on their feet. And there's the escape. So that makes it 2-1 in favor of, still in favor with 17 left to go in favor of Anchor Bay. No points on this takedown attempt. 10 seconds left. And there's the takedown. So that makes it 4-1 with 4 seconds left to go in the first. And it's going to be Hartland's choice. So a couple of takedowns for Anchor Bay and an escape. So that makes it 4-1. Hartland will choose down to start the second period. And Anchor Bay takes a 4-1 lead into the second period. And again, the legs go in. And working on that cradle. Back over to the splits. Look back to a guillotine. A little roll through here. 1:30 left to go in the second period. 4-1 in favor of Anchor Bay in this one. And Anchor Bay still in the superior position here. And there's the reversal for 2. That's going to make it 4-3 in favor of, still in favor of Anchor Bay. 1 minute left to go in the second period. And Hartland's still in the superior position here with 36 left to go in the second period. 4-3 in favor of Anchor Bay here. $20 seconds left to go in the second period. And Hartland's still in the superior position. 10 seconds. Hartland still in the superior position. And that's how it'll end. So it will be Anchor Bay's choice. And he'll take down to start. And it's 4-3 to start the third period. Whoops. And while we've got a little break here, some upcoming events on MHSAA.TV. They'll carry nearly 500 hours of championship programs during the winter tournament season. In the next few weeks, you can catch the finals in individual wrestling, competitive cheer, ice hockey, girls gymnastics, Lower Peninsula swimming and diving, and girls and boys basketball semifinals. And if you can't watch it live, all the action is archived at MHSAA.tv. And we start the third period in this 135-pound weight class with Anchor Bay with a slim 4-3 lead. And a victory here would tie up the team score. It's 13-10 in favor of Hartland after 6 matches. So we knew this one was going to be a good one. He lets him go. So it's an escape for 1. That makes it 5-3 now. We knew this one would be a good match, and it's certainly lived up to its billing. Anchor Bay is the number 2 seed. Hartland was the number 3 seed. So a terrific dual meet going on with this one. And 1:16 left to go in the third period, and there's a takedown for 2. That makes it 7-3 now in favor of Anchor Bay. One minute left to go. And Dombrowski's got a leg in, and he's working on the guillotine. He's got to be careful. They will stop it if this gets too out of hand. And no, they're going to stop it for potentially dangerous. So with 43 seconds left to go in the third period, we'll come back and we'll reset with Anchor Bay in the superior position. And Anchor Bay's coaches are asking what's the deal, and the officials are just explaining what the situation is, potentially dangerous, so they stop it. And they will. If it gets close, they're going to stop it. So 7-4 with 43 seconds left to go in the third period. Seconds left. Seconds left to go in the third period. And Anchor Bay's got a cradle. And let's see if he can score some points here. He's going to get at least a couple. 7 seconds left. And that's how it'll end. So 3 more for Anchor Bay. That'll make the final score. Dombrowski from Anchor Bay 10, Castillo from Hartland 4, and that'll be 3 team points for Anchor Bay, and that will now make the team score tied at 13 apiece. So we start the second half all tied at 13 apiece, and scheduled to come out for Hartland at 140 is DeNoble and Brazil for Anchor Bay. So let's see who we got coming out for Hartland. It's Nick DeNoble is scheduled to come out for Hartland. And at 140 for Anchor Bay is Luke Brazil, and this is Luke Brazil. Luke is a sophomore at 34 and 12, and out for Hartland is Nick DeNoble. He's a sophomore at 15 and 9. Again, out for Hartland is Nick DeNoble. Again, he's a sophomore with coming into the weekend at 15 and 9. And out for Anchor Bay is Luke Brazil. He's a sophomore with a 34 and 12. And a nice job by Hartland on the takedown there. Again, if you're just joining us, we are live from the Kellogg Arena. You're seeing action on mat 3 between Anchor Bay and Hartland. And we are all tied at 13 apiece in this one. Good matches going on here. Only one fall at 130. Hughes from Hartland pinned Wiscombe from Anchor Bay. And we're all tied at 13 apiece in this one. With 1 minute left to go in the first period, it's 2-0 in favor of Hartland in this 140-pound match. And he's going to let him up. No, he didn't give enough separation to let him up. So Hartland is still in the superior position here. And he lets him up right there. So it's 2-1 now with 35 seconds left to go in the first period. It will be Anchor Bay's choice to start the second. .15 seconds left to go. 2-1 in favor of Hartland. In on a nice job. Whoa. 4-1 now. Nice duck under right there as we come to the end of the first period. It'll be Anchor Bay's choice, and that's how it'll end. So the little flurry came too light. It's Anchor Bay's choice. And they'll choose down to start the second. So we start the second period with DeNoble from Hartland in the lead over Brazil from Anchor Bay, 4-1. And we're underway. Second period, 140-pound weight class. This is our 8th match between Hartland and Anchor Bay, and team score is all tied at 13 apiece. And locked hands. So we're going to get a penalty point for Anchor Bay on a technical call. That'll make it 4-2 now. So we had locked hands against Hartland. He's going to let them up. So they start neutral, and that'll make the score 4-3. So an escape is awarded to Anchor Bay. And they've stopped the action. Why? Well, the official stopped it there. Not sure what was going on there. So it's 4-3 with 1:15 left to go in the second period in favor of Hartland. And we're going to go off the mat with 55 seconds left to go. 4-3 in favor of Hartland in this one. Team scores tied at 13 apiece. No points. 27 seconds left to go in the second. Stalemate, so we'll come back to neutral, start again with 11 seconds left to go in the second period. 4-3, Hartland in the lead. And that's how it'll end. So it'll be Hartland's choice, and they're going to take down to start the third. And it's still 4-3 going into the caution, a false start there. 4-3 going into the third period. We're at 140 pounds. This is our 8th match. 4-3 in favor of Hartland in this one. Been a good dual meet so far between these two schools. Team scores all tied at 13 apiece. Minute 20 left in the third period. They're going to stalemate that and bring them back to the center. Anchor Bay in a superior position, and we're underway. Hartland to their feet, and no escape yet. Anchor Bay still in the superior position here. So no change in position with 50 seconds left to go in the third period. And Anchor Bay working to turn Hartland here. They're going to stop it. They're going to stop it because we're going to take care of some blood here. That's what it looks like. We got the trainers coming out. So that will give me a minute to tell you, if you want basketball tickets for March Madness, the Breslin Center begins next week with district action in the MHSAA girls basketball tournaments. Tickets for the semifinals and finals of the girls and the boys tournaments will take place exclusively through the Breslin Student Events Center box office and BreslinCenter.com beginning on Monday, March 2nd. So if you want your tickets for basketball, go to Breslin.com or call them starting Monday, March 2nd. So we'll clean up the blood and we'll get back underway here. This match has been everything that we thought it would be. Anchor Bay was seeded second and Hartland was seeded third. And through 7 matches, it's a 13-13 team score. And right now, Hartland has a slim 4-3 lead over Anchor Bay. That's DeNoble from Hartland 4, Brazil from Anchor Bay 3. And we're back underway with 40 seconds left to go in the third period. And we'll come back to the center with 19 seconds left to go. And he's going to let him go. So it's escape. So Anchor Bay is going to let him go. So Hartland is awarded a point for an escape. That makes it now 5-3. Anchor Bay in on a single with 10 seconds left. He's hoping to tie this up. And warning stalling on Hartland. 3 seconds left. 2, 1, and it'll end. So Hartland, DeNoble from Hartland will defeat Brazil from Anchor Bay in a slim one, 5-3. That's 3 team points for Hartland, and that now makes the team score Hartland 16, Anchor Bay 13 through 8 matches. We'll move to the 145. Scheduled to come out for Hartland is Vish. And scheduled to come out for Anchor Bay is Maselli. And let's see who they send out. Coming out for Hartland, Logan Vish Jr. at 42-3. And coming out for Anchor Bay, it's scheduled to be Maselli. Scheduled to be Maselli, Vince Maselli, senior at 28-15. So we're just about ready to get underway at the 145-pound weight class from the Kellogg Arena, mat number 3. So check that. This is actually Grimsley for Anchor Bay. And I've just been corrected. It is Vince Maselli from Anchor Bay. So the 145-pound weight class between Logan Vish, a junior, 42-3 from Hartland, and Vince Maselli, a senior at 28-15 from Anchor Bay. So we had it right in the first place. And with 1:12 left to go, we're 0-0. Through 8, the team score is Hartland 16, Anchor Bay 13. This has been a terrific dual meet between these two schools. A little shuck, and we're off the mat. So we'll come back to neutral. Let's see, a little conference here. Neutral, yep. We're back at neutral. 56 left to go. First period, 145-pound weight class. Warning stalling on Maselli from Anchor Bay. This is our 9th match. We started at heavyweight. So we're on match number 9, and a throw, but we're off the mat. So that doesn't go anywhere. 29 seconds left to go in the first period. 0-0. And 9 seconds left to go in the first period. We're still tied at 0-0. And that's how it'll end. So it's Hartland's choice. And they're going to take down to start the second period. 145-pound weight class. Maselli from Anchor Bay against Vish from Hartland. 0-0 as we start the second. And there's an escape for Hartland. Makes it 1-0 now, and a throw. So we're going to get 2 for a takedown, and we're going to get some back points here. And a fall. So Vish, Logan Vish from Hartland pins Vince Maselli in the second period. And that will give Hartland 6 more team points. And they'll jump out to a 22-13 lead now in the team score, working on an upset here against Anchor Bay. So we'll move to our 10th match at 1:52. I've got scheduled to come out for Hartland is Gorial, and scheduled to come out for Anchor Bay is Duffy. So let's see who they're going to bring out. And out for Anchor Bay is Duffy. This is Patrick Duffy, sophomore, 27-14. And again, scheduled to come out for Hartland is Gorial. And out for Hartland, Gorial, a senior at 50-0. So check that. This is a Brandon Sturdivant from Hartland. Brandon Sturdivant from Hartland, so apologies there. Brandon's a senior at 19-7. And Patrick Duffy. Patrick is a sophomore at 27-14, and he's going to score the takedown. So Hartland jumps out with that fall, 22-13 in favor of Hartland now in this team duel. So they're working on the upset. Hartland was the 3rd seed. And we got a reversal for 2. So that's going to tie the score. Two to 2. And Hartland in a superior position here. So we're off the mat with 36 seconds left to go. We're tied up 2 to 2 in this 152-pound match between Sturdivant from Hartland and Duffy from Anchor Bay. And Hartland's going to get some back points. It looks like we got 10 seconds left to go. So 2 for Hartland for a near fall. And it's Duffy takes down to start the second period. And we start the second period with Hartland in the lead, 4 to 2. Check that, Anchor Bay takes down to start the second period. Hartland Sturdivant is in the lead over Duffy, 4 to 2. This is the 152-pound weight class. This is our 10th match. Good dual meet so far between these two schools. This one is not over. A fall at 145 put Hartland in a 9-point lead in team score. It's 22-13 team score. And we've got another close match here at 152, 4 to 2 in favor of Hartland. We're in the second period with 1 minute left. And a double chicken wing. Nope, they're going to stop it for potentially dangerous. 45 seconds left to go in the second period, with Hartland up by 2, 4 to 2. And while we've got a little bit of a break here, let's talk about social media at MHSAA. You can be part of the conversation about high school sports. Grab your cell phone and follow the MHSAA on Twitter at MHSAA. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram for in-game updates, event announcements, and high school sports news around the state year-round. You can connect with MHSAA today. So if you're just joining us, we are in the middle of a terrific dual meet between Anchor Bay and Hartland. Anchor Bay was seeded second in this tournament, and Hartland was seeded third. And this match has played up to what we thought it would be. It was tied through 7, 13-13, and then Hartland in the 8th match jumped out, got a 5-3 decision. That made it 16-13, and then in the 9th match, Vish pinned Maselli in the 2nd period. That gave him 6 more team points. That made it 22-13. But it's been a neck-and-neck match up until that fall at 145. We started the match today at heavyweight, and we are through 9. We're in the middle of our 10th match at 152 with 45 seconds left to go. Hartland has a slim 4-2 lead, and out on the mat for Hartland is Sturdivant, and out on the mat for Anchor Bay is Duffy. And so it's been a terrific dual meet so far between these two. The winner takes on the winner of the Davison-Brighton match to get to the finals. The finals are today at 4 o'clock. We have another round of semifinals match starting at around 11:45. And we're ready to get underway. We're in the 2nd period of the 152-pound match. It's 4-2 in favor of Hartland on this one. A lot of wrestling left, and this one is not over. And there's an escape for Anchor Bay. That makes it 4-3 now. And we're going to stalemate it and bring them back to neutral. With 10 seconds left to go in the 2nd period, it'll be Hartland's choice when we start the 3rd. 5 seconds. So we're going to start the 3rd period. It'll be Hartland's choice. And they'll choose down. So we start the 3rd period in this 152-pound weight class with a score of 4-3 in favor of Hartland. That's Sturdivant from Hartland. Brandon Sturdivant, a senior at 19-7, and Patrick Duffy from Anchor Bay. Patrick's a sophomore at 27-14. Minute 30 left to go in the 3rd period. This is a close match. It's 4-3 in favor of Hartland. Anchor Bay needs to score some points here. And he's going to work the power half. And we'll stop it. And we've got a medical timeout here, injury timeout. So while we've got a break here, let's talk about the Student Advisory Council. The MHSAA Student Advisory Council helps serve school sports as a voice of the student athlete. Applications are now being taken for the students from the class of 2017 to serve for 2 years on the Student Advisory Council. For more information about the MHSAA Student Advisory Council and to view the student athlete belief statement, visit the student leadership page of the MHSAA website. And so just a real quick recap. This match started at heavyweight, and through 7 matches, we were tied in the team score at 13 apiece. But then in the 8th match, it was a 140-pound weight class. Hartland got a decision that made it 16-13, and then the 9th match at 145, Hartland got a fall that made it 22-13, and that's where we stand right now. And we are in the 3rd period of the 152-pound weight class, and this is a close match between Sturdivant from Hartland and Duffy from Anchor Bay. Sturdivant from Hartland with a slim 4-3 lead. We got 40 seconds. There's a warning for stalling on green. That's on Hartland, and some back points here. 2-point near fall for Anchor Bay. That's going to put Anchor Bay in the lead, 5-4. And a victory here would go a long way. 20 seconds left in the 3rd period. A victory here would go a long way for Anchor Bay. And we're going to stalemate. We'll come back to neutral with 11 seconds left. We'll come back to center, rather, with 11 seconds. And Anchor Bay in the superior position. Caution, false start. So they're going to reset. And we're underway, 10 seconds left. And the legs go in. We're going to stop it for potentially dangerous with 7 seconds left. As soon as that guy tripods up, they stop it. 5 seconds left. And they're going to roll through 1 second, and that's how it'll end. So Duffy from Anchor Bay gets a slim 5-4 victory over Sturdivant from Hartland. That's 3 team points for Anchor Bay, and that'll make the team score now Hartland 22, Anchor Bay 16. And we'll move to the 160-pound weight class, and I have scheduled to come out for Hartland is LaForge and Grimsley for Anchor Bay. So this should be Lucas LaForge. Lucas is a junior at 44-7. And coming out for Anchor Bay is scheduled is Grimsley, a senior at 51-1. So scheduled to be out there for Hartland is Lucas LaForge. Again, he's a junior. He comes in at 44-7. And out for Anchor Bay is Tyler Grimsley. He's a senior at 51-1. And you'll see Grimsley next week at the individual tournament. So match number 11, and Hartland working on an upset here, 22-16 team score. And we're off the mat. So we'll come back to neutral with 1 minute 15 left to go in the 1st period. So out there for Hartland is Gorial. So this is Jacob Gorial for Hartland. He's a senior at 50-0. And I'm thinking we're going to see him next week in the individual tournament. So between these two kids, they've wrestled over 100 matches, and there's only been 1 loss. This is going to be a good match at 160. "15 seconds left to go in the 1st period, and it will be Hartland's choice. And so it'll be Hartland's choice. Hartland will take down. So at 160 pounds, this is Jacob Gorial, senior. He comes into the tournament 50-0. And for Brighton, Tyler Grimsley, senior at 50-1. And there's an escape for Hartland. That may be the only point scored in this one. 1-0 in favor of Hartland in this one. Hard to believe these two kids between them have wrestled over 100 matches, and there's only one loss. And we're in the second period, and Hartland has a slim 1-0 lead. .110 left to go in the second period. I'm thinking that this is the pivotal match right here between these two. And there's a reversal for two, and we're going to get some back points here. And two near fall points. That's Hartland's gonna jump out ahead 5-0. And we've got a little stop in the action with 20 seconds left to go in the second period. So with that reversal and that near fall, that's going to give Gorial a 5-0 lead over Grimsley from Anchor Bay. So while we've got a minute, let's talk about the MHSAA school broadcast program. You can watch student-produced video of high school action and a variety of athletic and non-athletic activities from around the state on the MHSAA.TV website. Over the past 3 years, school broadcast program members have produced over 6,000 events online. Get your school involved. Visit MHSAA.TV for more information. And we'll get back underway with 20 seconds left to go in the second period. It's 5-0 in favor of Hartland. Potentially dangerous. We'll stop it. We'll come back with 8 seconds left, and we'll restart. Hartland will be in the superior position. It will be Anchor Bay's choice when we start the third. So this will be interesting to see what he takes, and that's how it'll end. So an escape, a reversal, and a near fall. Check that escape. That should be a takedown and a near fall. So Anchor Bay chose down, and Hartland chose to let him go, so that's an automatic escape point for Anchor Bay. That makes the score now 5-1 in favor of Hartland. And in on a single is Anchor Bay. Boy, this has been a terrific match between these two kids. 1:15 left in the third period now, and there's a takedown for 2. That's going to make it 7-1 now in favor of Hartland. And we're back to neutral, an escape for Anchor Bay. 7-2 now. Anchor Bay in on a double. And hasn't scored the points yet. It still hasn't scored the points yet. And there's the takedown. 7-4 now in favor of Hartland, with 33 seconds left to go in the third period. And stalemate with 19 seconds left in the third period. We'll come back to middle with Anchor Bay in the superior position. And they're going to let them go, so it's escape for 1. That makes it 8-4. And in on a double again is Anchor Bay. And he gets the points. That makes it 8-6. 5 seconds left. 4, 3. And that's how it's going to end. So Gorial from Hartland will defeat Grimsley from Anchor Bay by a score of 8-6. 3 more team points for Hartland. That's going to make the team score now Hartland 25 and Anchor Bay 16 as we move to the 171-pound weight class. And scheduled to come out for Hartland is Spies. We've got Andrew Spies for Hartland scheduled to come out, and Shortino for Anchor Bay. Let's see who comes out. Out for Anchor Bay is Shortino. This is Jake Shortino. He's a senior at 33 and 13. And out for Hartland is Lucas LaForge. Lucas is a junior at 44 and 7. So again, out for Hartland is Lucas LaForge. Lucas is a junior. He comes into the tournament with a 44 and 7 record. And out for Anchor Bay is Jake Shortino. Jake is a senior at 33 and 13. And we're through 11 matches, and Hartland has an upset going at 25 and 16. Hartland was the number 3 seed, and Anchor Bay was the number 2 seed. And the winner of this match will go up against either Brighton or Davison in the finals at 4 o'clock today. So we're in match number 12. We've got 3 left, and it's certainly not out of... It's still a wide open match with a team score of 25-16 in favor of Hartland, and both warned for stalling here. And 2 for Hartland on a takedown. Thirteen seconds left to go in the first period. It'll be Anchor Bay's choice when we start the second. So Anchor Bay has choice. And they're going to defer. And Hartland will take down to start the second period. And Hartland has a slim 2-0 lead to start the second. And there's an escape for Hartland. That's going to make it 3-0 now in favor of Hartland. And a takedown. That's going to make it 5-0 now in favor of Hartland, with 59 seconds left to go in the second period. An escape for Anchor Bay, 5-1 now. 50 seconds left to go in the second. Twenty seconds left. Ten seconds left in the second period. It'll be Anchor Bay's choice to start the third. 5-1 in favor of Hartland to start the third. And they'll start neutral. Anchor Bay's choice, they'll start neutral to start the third. 5-1 in favor of Hartland in this 171-pound bout. Takedown for 2. For Hartland, that's going to make it 7-1. He lets him go, and it makes it 7-2 now, with 1:33 left to go in the third period. So Anchor Bay needs a victory here. There's another takedown. That's going to make it 9-2. And an escape, that's going to make it 9-3. And a major decision would put this away for Hartland. .57 seconds left. And a takedown. There's another takedown. That makes it 11-3, so we're working on a major decision now for Hartland. And a major decision would put this one away for Hartland with 2 matches left. 30 seconds left. Stalling and a point for Green. That's going to make it 12-3. Ten seconds left. And Hartland is celebrating it because they know 4 more team points. That puts it out of reach for Anchor Bay, so the upset is in the making here. That makes the team score now Hartland 29, Anchor Bay 16, with 2 matches left. So I have scheduled to come out at 189, Laird from Hartland and Morissette from Anchor Bay. So let's see who comes out here for Hartland. So we're at 189, and with that victory at 171, Hartland is going to pull the upset, and they're going to forfeit at 189. So a forfeit to Anchor Bay. That's going to give 6 more team points to Anchor Bay. That's going to make the score now 29-22, and another forfeit at 2:15. And that's how it will end. So a couple of forfeits to finish it off here. And the final score in this one will be Hartland 29, Anchor Bay 28. So just a real quick recap here before we let you go. This was a close match through 7 matches. The score was tied at 13 apiece. And then in our 8th match at 140, Hartland got a 5-3 decision. That made it 16-13. And then at 145 in our 9th match, a fall that made it 22-13. And then as we went into our 10th match at 152, Anchor Bay snuck one out with a 5-4 decision. That made it 22-16. That kept it close. But then Hartland began to pull away at 160, a pivotal match. They won there 8-6. That made it 25-16. And then the match that ended it all at 171, they got a major decision. It was LaForge defeating Shortino 12-3. That made the score, the team score, 29-16. And as you just saw, Hartland forfeited the last 2 matches, and that made the final team score Hartland 29 and Anchor Bay 28. So you've been watching high school wrestling on the NFHS network, a production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Plan Sports. Once again, our final score, an upset, Hartland defeating Anchor Bay by a score of 29-28. I'm Dave Corey. We'll see you shortly. So long, everybody.